Occultism and spirituality are two ends. Occultism deals with the world of magic, whereas spirituality deals with the world of miracles. And it is necessary to remember that magic is man made, whereas miracle is God made. And so Rahu or moon in Anuradha can either become a Mahavira or a typical black magician. It all depends on the level and quality of the soul whose horoscope is on the table. Going to extremes is the quality of moon or Rahu in Anuradha. These people either are standing first in the queue or last in the queue. All watery signs, being too emotional, generally are not willing to let go. And Saturn's Anuradha and Rahu's combination makes the person too clinging by nature. And this nature of clinging, this nature of not forgiving, this nature of not letting go eventually brings more miseries in your life. Remember, you only lose what you cling to. Moon or Rahu in Anuradha natives should take efforts to move towards detachment. The whole mathematics of life is simple, very simple, my fellows. More attachment equals to more miseries, and more detachment equals to more happiness. The mathematics of life is very simple. The most common complaint of moon or Rahu in Anuradha natives is that they feel very unfortunate because whatsoever they do goes wrong, and they try not to do wrong again, but that's not going to help because the center has to be changed. Their minds function in a wrong way. They may think that they are doing good, but they will do bad. With all their good wishes, they cannot help. They are helpless. There was a young man. He must be a Rahu in Anuradha native, because no matter whatsoever he does, he would end up doing wrong. The problem is always with the center. If the center remains ignorant, then whatsoever you do, it goes wrong. And so one day, this young man visited a great Sufi saint. The young man continued to visit the same saint for many days, but the saint was a silent one. He will not speak anything. Then one day, the young man had to say, he had to ask, I have been coming again and again, waiting that you will say something, and you have not said anything. And unless you say, I cannot understand. So just give me a message for my life, a direction, so that I can move in that direction. Listening to that young man's request, the Sufi sage said, Neki kar kuएं में डाल, meaning do good and throw it in the well. It is one of the oldest Sufi sayings, do good and throw it in the well. It means do good and forget about it immediately. Don't carry that thought that I have done good. So next day, the young man helped one old woman to cross the road, and then he pushed her into the well. Neki kar kuएं में डाल, do good and throw it in the well. If your wrong center is functioning, whatsoever you do will go wrong. So the first lesson for all natives having Rahu or moon in Anuradha is to focus inwards and to realize that there is something wrong within you. It is only when you accept this fact that you can actually start improvising yourself. And once you start working on yourself, then this Rahu or moon in Anuradha will take you to heights of success. Anuradha, in simple words, is a high voltage power unit. If it is put to use for a good cause, then it will manifest into a beautiful, helpful energy. And if it is put to use for a bad cause, then it will turn out to be the most dangerous, the most destructive energy on this planet. There is no middle ground for Anuradha. You are either too good or you are too bad. Because Scorpio is a sign that has much depth of understanding. This moon or Rahu in Anuradha at some stage invokes the native to find the purpose of his or her life. And if the native is an evolved soul, if he is on the spiritual path, then sooner or later they realize that doing for others is what adds value to their life. Doing for others is what brings certain meaning to their life. Remember, nothing would mean anything if you didn't live a life of use to others. For an evolved soul, having moon or Rahu in Anuradha is living a life that is of use to others. Remember, our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if you can't help them, then at least don't hurt them. Pushya Nakshatra is all about reforms and reorganization of the system. However, Anuradha is all about transformations, and that includes physical transformation as well. It is necessary to remember that you cannot have a physical transformation until you have a spiritual transformation. Anuradha is all about spiritual transformation, and such a placement proves beneficial only to a soul that is inclined towards spirituality. Moon or Rahu in Anuradha Nakshatra is specifically good for Virgo ascendant, Gemini ascendant, Capricorn ascendant, and Aquarius ascendant. Such a Rahu proves more beneficial if Mercury, Saturn is well placed and well aspected in the birth chart. The sacred tree for Anuradha Nakshatra is the Spanish cherry tree. In India, the name of this tree is Bakula or Bakhul. It is also called bullet wood tree in the US. If you are born with moon in Anuradha Nakshatra or Rahu in Anuradha Nakshatra, then you should plant this tree in your garden and nurture it with love. The more you nurture this wonderful tree, the more you will receive blessings from Anuradha, the highly transformative nakshatra.